Now, the Lagos State government on Tuesday announced the introduction of a consolidated informal transport sector levy of 800 naira to be paid daily by each bus driver operating in the state. The government said the initiative, which is to take effect from February the 1st, 2022, would harmonize the taxes being paid by transporters. And for the likely economic and logistical implication of this new development, well, the long-suffering commuters and transport operators in Lagos, we are now being joined by Gbenga Omotoso, the Lagos State Commissioner for Information and Strategy. Welcome to the program. Let me just get right into it. Let's start with the rationale behind how you were able to sort of arrive at this decision. Give us the backstory. What was it that made you come up with this levy for transport workers? Gbenga Omotoso.
Thank you very much. We discovered that there were multiple levies. Bus drivers are paying as much as 3,000 naira per day. For example, if a bus moves from Badagry and is going to Lagos Island, it's going to pay at several points, paying to local government, Ojo, paying to all other officers on the road. And the government felt this was exploitative and it's not enough, and that sector needs to be protected. And that's why the government came in and said, let us consolidate all the levies. Lawma charges the motor parks for parking their refuse. They pay a levy to Ministry of Transportation. They pay to LASEPA. And the government said all of these things should not be the same. So, and let us consolidate everything. And that is what the government has done in conjunction with all the stakeholders in the transport sector.
Okay, Mr. Omotoso, the combining of all these levies into one seems like it would make it more easier for people to conduct their business. But the question is, with the lump sum of all these levies and knowing the state of hardship that the average Nigerian is facing, isn't it a little bit too much?
In fact, it's a reduction. I've just given an example of a bus leaving Badagry and going to Lagos Island. The driver will pay no less than 3,000 for that trip. But once you obtain one ticket, this particular ticket, such payments are out of place. You won't be able to. You won't need to pay any other levy again. So the 800 naira is a consolidated levy that they have to pay, and is in conjunction with the drivers and the local governments and all the stakeholders in the transport sector. They came and agreed on that particular amount so that it's payable for the drivers. And so far, nobody has complained about it because they were part of the decision. But before, they used to pay thousands every day and everybody was complaining.
Well, Mr. Omotoso, I'm more interested in how this revenue coming in from the transporters will be used to boost the transport system in Lagos. Can you shed more light on that?
Oh, of course, it's going to help a lot. Lagos State has an ambitious plan to boost the transport sector, take pressure off the road and encourage Lagosians to use the waterways. We are going to be getting more ferries on the waterways. We are going to be doing the red line and the blue line, the rail projects. We need to fund these from our balance sheet. We are the only subnational in the whole world funding rail project from its balance sheet. And just yesterday in Milwaukee, the government signed an agreement that will bring wagons to Lagos for the red line. And all of these things are just for the comfort of the common man in Lagos. So an average Lagosian will have a very nice experience in motoring, in transportation all over the state once the rails are working, and then the waterways are alive with more ferries. And then the roads that we are talking about, road transportation too, we get a boost with this sector being brought into the formal sector, because it's been out there all this while with billions of money from drivers, from buses, big buses, small buses, and all of the people operating in that sector. So bringing them to the formal sector is going to be a boost. And By so doing, the common man in Lagos State will have more comfort because government is going to have more money to be able to do better roads, all of the things that we want to do in that sector.
And just as we wrap up on our conversation, let me quickly ask you and very briefly tell us, this new daily 800 naira, is that in addition to the levy being collected by the Road Transport Workers Association, or will the union no longer collect levy from the drivers? Which is which?
The union will still collect their levies, but before now, all of the levies being paid to Lagos State Waste Management Agency, Ministry of Transportation, Lagos State Environmental Protection Agency, all of those levies being paid to local government, various local governments. A bus moves from Badagry and gets to Ojo, pays another money. All of that will be exterminated. They will be consolidated at a reduced rate, which they will pay. The unions, they still have a right to charge their members what they want their members to pay. So this one is not part of what the unions are paying. But by this one, the drivers are better off. They will get a card to show that they are paying their levies and taxes and that they have access to government facilities and that they have a rest of mind. They move from one local government to another. Nobody will trouble them.
Lagos State Commissioner for Information, Gbenga Omotoso, thank you for joining the program this afternoon to clear all those things up for us.